Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW. I'm here in the Tier 8 British destroyer, the Jutland, and this one's called Peeing Off Pobeda, and it got a little note to myself to remember to turn my AA guns on. This was a defeat, so I'll warn you ahead of time, but it turned out to be a little bit of a learning experience. So, to help a few people out who've been asking, I have dropped my captain and ship build on here. So, I'll give you a quick look at that first, and then we'll get into the game. Here you are. To give you a quick rundown on what I'm using in this match on the Jutland. Captain wise, I've got Reginald Tyrwhitt, who is at 16.4. His base trait is True Grit, giving us 3% reduction on torpedo launcher reload time and a reduction in steering gear impairment chance. I then run the Subsurface Venture for torpedo speed and reload as well, but I am losing 10% of my main gun reload there. So I think I'll go up to 4.4 from 4 seconds. I know a lot of pro top 1%, the elite destroyer captains don't use perceptive or twist and track, but it gives you an advantage, and if there's an advantage given to you in the game, use it. And certainly if you're learning to use destroyers for the first time, use either twist and track or perceptive. It will give you a little bit of help to help you survive as you learn the ropes of playing destroyers. I'm then running Smoke on the Water, which gives me 8% smokescreen dispersion and 8% smokescreen deployment time. However, as I am running a Smogathon here, which greatly reduces my smokescreen cooldown and gives me additional smokescreen charges. These smokescreens are very short and very quick. If you're going full speed and you hit the smoke button, you are going to be well past that smoke screen because it's only sort of 2 blobs of smoke and that's it. And then it's a very short duration. So literally you need to be hitting the brakes almost to a full stop before you slap that smoke button and give yourself some cover. I'm also running Eric Beer, who's at 16.4. He gives me a 5% reduction in detectability, and I run William Sims, who is at 16.3, because he gives me extra hit points. Here at 16.3 I get an extra 380 hit points per tier. So 3/8 is 24, that's 2400, and 8/8 is 64, so that's given me 3040 extra hit points for a quick bit of Rain Man mathematics there to correct me if I'm wrong. Modules wise, I'm running Aiming Systems Mod 1, reduced dispersion, gives me speed up on the torpedo traverse. I don't have secondaries on this, I don't think, so not useful whatsoever. We've then got steering gears, because turning quickly does really help. Obviously, as we run a destroyer, I'm running concealment system. I know some players do run target acquisition to basically bump other destroyers into smoke and then run them down and detect them in their smoke screen from 3 kilometers, not 2, which is the lowest guaranteed range of acquisition for a hidden target. It also works through islands, remember that one. And last but not least, I'm running torpedo launchers mod 3 to further reduce my torpedo launcher reload time by 15%. You'll notice that I'm not running any AA mods on either the ship or the captain. Standard loadout, and here we go, 21,440 on my hit points. Artillery, there we go, we're on 5 seconds, so we got a 4.5 second reload by standard, 5 seconds because we are running that other skill for torpedo relaunch. But we do bring our torpedo relaunch down to 93 seconds, and also remember that these can be single fired, so that is one to remember. It's specific to the British destroyer range, and also the Caprice, which is actually a French Le Fantasque, but with a red ensign hanging off the back of it. And AA defense, this is 51. Now I'm going to make the most use out of this in this game. And you'd think that an AA defense of 51 is not going to be much cop, but I was surprised at how good this was. And you'll see that my concealment is down to 5.3. I do have Jersey Swirsky. I could bring another, I think, 3.5–4% off that, but it's not a huge amount. And the extra hit points I have with running Sims are probably worth more than 100 or 200 meters of detection. So let's get into this game now that you've seen the build of the ship, and we'll see how it performs.
As you can see, we've got a tier 7, tier 8 game. There's a couple of destroyers, there's a radar cruiser, and then there's lots and lots of battleships. And of course, because I'm in a destroyer, there's going to be a friggin' aircraft carrier in the game. We've got the Pobeda, which we all term the easy mode because of that wonderful wide broadside of skippy bombs they can drop and the big salvo of torpedoes. But there are a couple of tricks to beating the Pobeda, and we'll get into those as we get into this game. Now, I always say that you should play the cap you spawn on, and on this map I'm on B cap, and it is undoubtedly the worst cap to be playing on. So just in case red team are going to do a rush, I put my torpedoes through there, and then I'm going to turn on. Knowing there's a radar cruiser there, I'm waiting for the carrier to get out and spot. The carrier, yeah, he's going to be effective in this game, but how effective is questionable. Red team's carrier, however, is going to be very effective. Now, a word to you battleship captains who are watching this video. In this game, there is one radar cruiser. That is the biggest risk to your destroyers. Your destroyers can get out and they can slap those big ships off the map for you. If you do your job, get rid of those cruisers and then let them push. They will scout ahead of you, they will scout for torpedoes, they will get out there and they will get onto the destroyers for you as well. So support the little guys, and the little guys will do their job for you. Now you'll see our other destroyer is a Z23, and he is parked right on the edge of air cap. There, I think it's a couple of battleships out there with him as well, and they're hanging well back from that cap. The cruiser has been spotted at the north side of air cap, and given that he's not spotted, I reckon that Z23 is sat in a smoke screen and running sonar. Red team's carrier is going after those two battleships, and one of them peels off. The destroyer is still sat on that cap. He's nearly got it. I'm pushing this cap and I'm trying to look around and see what's going on. The torpedoes are running through that smoke screen. The Kagero was out there, but he's running. So I'm pinging the map and telling the carrier, hey, look out here. But there is a destroyer spotted on air cap. Now, those two battleships should A, be tanking the damage from the battleship and trying to deal with the cruiser, and then switching their attention to the destroyer. And that Z23, although it's got a slower reload than most destroyers, it's got quite punchy guns and it can do a lot of damage. And I think it's the Sumner that's out there on the left, and the Kagero has pushed across with him. We've already lost one ship. I didn't see where that disappeared. It must have been across on C cap, because that is where Red team's carrier, I think, does start out. However, he is going to make an appearance a little bit later on, all the way on the other side of the map. So here is the Republic. I'm on the cap. I'm thinking he's going to push in and contest it. Now, as you saw from the build, I'm running Smogathon on Tyrwhitt on here, which gives me lots of short smoke screens. However, one of the things that I fail to take into account on this is how quickly I can start moving again. And I'm going to make that mistake a couple of times of overrunning my smoke screen, but I'm going to get lucky here. This Republic is bowing. There is a ship onto him. Single fire torpedoes. We're going to put a little bit of a spread on them. And he knows he's spotted. He knows that there's a destroyer here on this cap, obviously. And the battleship that's supporting me is way back, but there is another ship right here with me. And we are going to rain on this Republic. So there we are. We've got our sonar still running for 15 seconds. We're putting those straight line torps out there. This guy is quite agile in his turns. And although I put the torps out there, I'm keeping a couple back because we're going to watch and see what happens. There we go. We get 2, we get 3. That's got to have taken a fair chunk of his health off him, but we didn't get any floods. Now, I don't know if that was just unlucky or if he had a damage control party running, but we get a 4th torpedo one. We get a flood on that one. So that looks like it's ticking. Again, we pop our smoke and we overrun it. So we decide, what the hell, we know we're in secondary range. There's a fire to go with this flood. We've got 2 more torpedoes on the way, and I'm hoping that even though I'm broadside, that I'm going to survive the hit from these secondaries and he's not going to launch a full salvo at me. But we get a 5th torpedo on, a 2nd flood, but the flood doesn't count because that guy is dead. Just under 58,000 damage and a cap there. So we know that Kagero did a runner. We have lost 4 ships. Red team have lost 4 ships. We each have a cap, but red are pushing C hard. And you'll notice that we did lose one of the battleships off the other flank. We know there was a destroyer out there. We know the Kagero was running in that direction. The Sumner has gone. So now we're going to push across and see what we can do to support this battleship. But you will notice that there at the top end of the map, that cruiser is still alive. And yeah, he shouldn't be. Not with 2 battleships on that flank. He should have been the sole focus. So the Pobeda is spotted there. He's pushed down literally into the capture point, and it's like, what the hell? How is he pushing a cap when there is a battleship out there on the flank? I say there's a battleship there on the flank. He's not going to be there for much longer. In fact, I think he may already be dead. If he's not, those bombers are going to put paid to his time in this game. I've put a spread of torpedoes out there thinking this guy is going to come sailing through. There is the Kagero. The battleship disappears. Now you'll notice at this point of the game, I haven't shot any planes down. I think about putting another spread at that Pobeda, but I think those planes coming out have spotted the torpedoes coming in. So I think, what the hell, I'm spotted, he's going to keep me spotted, it's time to try and do some damage and get a fire on. Now the Pobeda has 2 runs, one which is this wide spread of skippy bombs, the other one which is, I think it's a 5 spread of torpedoes. Now the thing is, those torpedoes take a very long time to arm. While we push out and take this care of this Kagero, we're going to take care of this Kagero, that's all I'll say. But yeah, the Pobeda has 2 attacks, torpedoes and bombs. The torpedoes take a very, very long time to arm. Now the Kagero is a different matter. So the trick, if you're being attacked by a Pobeda with torpedo bombers, is to look at the direction that he's coming in from, and if you can, to turn into him as fast as you can and try and close down those torpedoes so you can actually get past them before they arm and kill you. Come on, get rid of that Kagero. There we go. Now, he is coming in from my rear. He can see me turning, so I'm watching where he's dropping, and I'm immediately going to turn back out again. That throws off the aim of that cruiser, and I really wish that those battleships had taken care of that cruiser earlier on. We've still only got one cap. I don't know how that battleship has managed to go through that cap without taking it. I don't know if he sailed around the outside or just sailed straight through and didn't take it. But it's 3-3, you know, but they've got 2 caps, and caps are king in domination mode. Now, I know that carrier's out there. I'm not going to push in against this cruiser, because that would be absolute suicide. It would be a stupid thing to do. Now the Skippy bomb attack, watch what we do here. He is going to try and come in on a flank from me, so I am going to turn straight in to his attack, and what I'm trying to do is straight line and get between his bombs. There we go. So the way to close down Pobeda attacks is to turn into them, to try and force them to drop early, or if he's getting a little bit too excited, he's going to close that distance and drop late. But again, that cruiser is still harassing me. You'll have seen me a minute or so ago turn my AA guns on, because in a carrier match, destroyers don't necessarily want to be spotted by carrier planes, so we turn the AA off. And I forgot about how good the AA on this can be. But here we go. He drops torpedoes. I'm still straight lining them, and I'm through them before they arm. Now he is going to come for another go on me here, I think. But if you look at where that little red aeroplane is, just up on the 11 o'clock position, that gives me the direction that his planes are going to be coming in from. So even if you're looking at something else, you've got a visual notification on the screen, the direction that those planes are coming from. Now we were, I think, 10 minutes into this game, I think, something like that, and I hadn't shot down a single plane. So yeah, we're under 4 minutes now. So here come the Skippy bombers again. We're just pointing our bow straight at them. We're closing down. He could try and drop straight on top of me, but he's coming in too hot and he waves off, and you'll see now that they are behind me. They're off on almost my 4 o'clock, so I'm turning as I get my guns on. I'm going to turn out and away again, because even though he's coming in, that turn puts him off his drop, and we avoid those ones as well. I think we could have afforded to take one, but we're almost on the second cap. But that cruiser has sailed straight into B cap, and that is going to go to red team. They're going to maintain their advantage. Here come the planes in from the left again, but now we're knocking them out of the sky like 9 pins, or is it 10 pins? This Pobeda, he played very well. He did harass me, and I did message him after and say he played very well. And I told him I was going to upload this video, and I'm going to send him the link. And you know, we can't get a fire on this guy again to save our life. But there we go. It's down to me. Last man. Just under 2.5 minutes to play. And what have I got? 14 planes shot down. I wish I'd have turned my AA on earlier. I could have had a clear sky. But there we go. This guy is running away from me. I'm having to twist and turn. I'm watching for where these planes are coming in, and I'm trying to turn into them. Here we go. Torpedoes on again, and I'm thinking I'm last man. I'm going to die anyway. Let's see what we can do here. The planes are now coming into my rear. I can see his squadrons coming up. I'm knocking them out of the sky as quick as I can, and I'm just thinking, you've had your fun, mate. It's my turn to have some fun with you. We keep chipping away at these planes. We can see torpedoes again off almost on our 12 o'clock. He's coming in again. There's the drop. I'm not even going to look at these ones because I'm sure I'm going to die. But we see them there. We drop off the gun sight for a second. We start a turn and we are going to zip straight through the middle of them. So that was a little bit of skill and a lot of bit of luck. All these turns are still bleeding speed. He is opening distance constantly. There's just over a minute on the clock now. There's no way we're winning this. So I'm just going to keep harassing this guy and hope that I can get the kill at least. Run 17 planes with under a minute to play. There are bombers coming in again. We can see them getting closer. We're going to turn into these bombers. We get a fire on the Pobeda. We pick up a clear sky and literally knock a complete squadron out as well. So what's that? That's 22, 23. We got more planes coming in. He gets killed. We're up to, God, see, I'm knocking these planes down as quick as he's putting them up. This is actually quite a nice little AA boat, and this isn't even built for AA, so I think I'll play this more often. That cruiser is still out there trying to harass me. He's coming in for his last run with his planes. We're up to 32. That last drop of torpedoes misses. The game ends. Red team have the win. But there are a few little tips, and those work for other cruisers, other carriers as well in the Russian tier, not just the Pobeda. Turn in, run fast, run hard. I really do hope you've liked this video. You may have learned a little something from it, like remember to turn your AA on. And if you have liked this one, please do hang around, click on one of these links, watch another video, and don't forget to smash the like button, and please do subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care and goodbye.